So AACTE convenes over 2,000 teacher educators from all across the country and including some international educators. And the whole goal of the meeting is to talk about the issues of the day.
A national clearinghouse of ideas that really begins to set the tone, sets the agenda nationally and perhaps even internationally.
Is a template. It's sort of a toolkit to say, here's the building blocks of how you could go about identifying your assets, your challenges in your community, identifying who might be the stakeholders you want to get involved.
As amazing a profession as it is, teaching is undervalued. Teachers are undervalued. And that sends a message to prospective teacher candidates that this isn't a field that you should be interested in. The pay is low relative to other fields. The expectations are incredibly high. So certainly looking at the teacher candidate shortage and how we build that candidate pool is part of the vision.
If we want our numbers to go up in our teacher prep pipeline, we have to stop creating barriers.
So the challenge might be being cheerleaders for our profession and getting the word out in our own community.
Talking about how when we come together and act as one, how there is the potential then to diversify, to really diversify the teaching workforce, not just from a numbers perspective, but also from diversifying the pipeline.
Knowing that so many of our students don't see the role models that remind them of themselves in the classroom, it would be one starting place to talk about why diversifying the force could make a difference.
People want to see a more pointed, more poignant kind of message from AACTE where social justice is concerned. And they even want to make certain that the program exemplifies that commitment.
To invite members into a dialogue to say, we don't have the answers. This is a larger problem than any of us singularly. How do we bring this forward in the work that we plan to do?
And there's a real commitment to understanding not only diversity, but diversity in a really kind of broad range, a broad perspective.
We could not do this work without admissions and financial aid and marketing and advancement. So even across our university, this very much has to align with our strategic goals for diversifying our campus and also reflecting and building our communities.
When we have to look at different demographics of students, are we designing our programs around their needs and really listening to their voices, or are we continuing to do kind of the traditional teacher prep programs and not wanting to make changes to that?
One of the things that works against retention is when we only bring in one person of a diverse background at a time in a situation. And so they end up sometimes being the only diverse person, racially diverse person, or even gender diverse, sexually diverse person in that department. And so there's no support.
One of the unique aspects of our program is a mentoring component, and so we match pre-service teachers of color with professional educators of color to connect them to the communities and the districts, but also for our current educators to feel that level of support that being in such the minority that they might not sometimes feel. And we bring them all together and have some pointed conversation about the diversity gap and the personal impact it has on them.
Going out and really saying, what does it mean to diversify our pipeline? Who don't we have sitting at the table right now that we can ensure that their voice is being heard and how we can adjust our programs?
What are colleges of education or teacher ed programs doing that we don't realize to almost prevent people from coming into the profession?
To help to set the tone within my college that says, we not only are strategizing to get folks of color in my college, but also we're going to take the necessary steps to support folks of color once they are there.
What they're really doing is saying that we want to look at these guided pathways. We want to create something that no matter what, there shouldn't be these barriers.
The schools are really the heart of the community and the future of the community, and so knowing that diversity in teaching is good for all students. So not only are we going to make some wonderful important connections, but in diversifying the teaching force, we're also providing more opportunities for all students to have diverse teachers and for all teachers to be able to collaborate for all student success.